Hey, it's Scotty. Well, we did it. I got all of the piggies out of the shelters. These cages represent all the remaining piggies that were in my local shelter. At the beginning of the summer, there were 30 piggies in the shelter, and there was a long, drawn out legal battle in order to get them available for adoption because it was a hoarding situation, and all of the piggies have been cleared and they were available for adoption. And so then they reached out to me, and the difficult work of placing them all, they've been placed in a number of rescues and foster homes. And I couldn't be happier because they mentioned to me that there were a number of stray kitties coming in, and actually you could see there's 2 different rooms and they're full of kitties. So there's only a few spaces left there, and we wanted to make all the room we could for the kitties. So I was actually going to see if I could bond a couple of these single boys right now. Actually, the main reason is because I'm running out of space. I don't have that much room in my car, and I have to go to the Palmdale shelter to pull one piggy that there is space for at the LA Guinea Pig Rescue. So I was thinking if I could bond 2 of these together, then I wouldn't have to have extra cages. Of course, in an emergency, I will bring an extra cage, and I'll just make it work. I'll bring some smaller cages, but I wanted them to have at least the biggest, pet store crappy cages that they can be in. But it's just overnight. But still, I'd rather them have more space, the more space that I can give them. Hi, BB. BB, you want to supervise? Okay, you can be the guinea pig bonding referee. This is the pair that was bonded. There was a bonded pair, and then there's 4 singles. So these guys are actually pretty young. Are you okay? You okay? Aww. What about you? They're a little skittish still. Look at you. You're very handsome. Both of you boys are quite handsome. Look, BB. You smell pretty good, considering. Look, BB. What do you think? He's a little one. He's a little shiny one with a round nose. You love your babies? You love your babies? You're such a good rescuer, BB. Hold on, hold on. Stay safe. Look, he's got an orange foot, BB. He's got an orange foot. Okay, okay. That was contestant number 1. This is contestant number 2. Oh, he's cute too, huh? And he's about the same size, probably from the same litter. Now, there is one older piggy in this group, and I think that we should try to bond the older piggy with one of the younger ones. I don't want to put both of these young ones together. Well, I definitely want to try to bond the older one. There's 4. So if we do an older and then one of the youngers, then maybe the other 2 will have to be younger. We're just relying... Pretty wings, BB. We're just relying on the guinea pig gods. This one, BB. This one's the big one. If you look at his nails, man, he needs a nail clip, that's for sure. But he's bigger. He's a little bit bigger. I think he's full grown. Come on, it's okay. It's okay. So let's check out the 4th one, and then we can make a decision. Okay? Are you paying attention? I need your help, baby. Okay. You know what, BB? BB, this one's number 4. This one seems a little bit bigger too. This one's very handsome. look at that nose, BB. Are you looking? Are you looking at the nose? Look at his lips. Look at his little piggy lips. Look at his little piggy lips. Baby. Okay, so what I think we should do, tell me if you agree. I think we should take one of the bigger ones and one of the smaller ones, and we'll try to bond them. And if that works, then we'll take the other two, which is also a bigger one and a smaller one, and we'll see if those ones bond. What do you think? You think it's a good plan? Okay, well, let's try it. So, we really know nothing about these two. Come on. Let's see. They're talking. Start your engines. Okay, I'll get my fleece prepared. I got a fleece to wrap my hand in if I have to. Now, they've been through a lot of trauma. I don't want this video to go on and on forever, so we're just gonna, I always say that, and then these videos go on and on forever. And we got Onyx over here, who's very curious about this. But no, Onyx, you gotta stay out of this. I'm sorry, I know you, I know you're curious. So, this guy is significantly bigger, but there could be a lot of factors. They could be from the same litter. Here, I'm going to adjust the light, and I'm going to watch them for a minute, and we'll just see what happens. What I was going to say is that what we have going for them is the fact that they were cooped up, and they were traumatized and upset, and they might not even know that they have to potentially fight. No fighting, boys. Aww. This is so cute. You letting him do that? It's nice to have a friend, isn't it? What do you think, BB? Are they gonna get along? Okay, you keep an eye on them. Okay. Okay, I just put a little bit of hay in there. They're voracious. I can't tell if the darker one was popcorning, but he seems happy. And how can you tell what a happy guinea pig is? Well, obviously they popcorn, but sometimes they sort of just buck. They're just kind of like, woo. It would be really nice for a number of reasons for them to get along and be peaceful. One of the things that I've noticed recently is that when piggies seem like they're getting along, so that's purring, not rumbling, and there's some humping, but they do more bubbling, more boop, 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 boop. There's a lot of these little piggy squeaks, like boop, boop, boop. Now what he's doing is, the dark one is, he was sniffing whatever scent he just laid down. Onyx, don't ruin this. Oh my gosh, look, he's got this weird long tail. Like a little rat tail. He's got short hair, but then he has this little long, stringy. Oh, what's a good name? What's like an 80s name of like a character that had a rat tail? I don't know. We will have to come up with some names for these boys. Okay, so I don't want to cover all the ins and outs. If you do like all the ins and outs, and I love watching bondings because their behavior is fascinating and often very subtle. Watch my bonding videos. I have a whole playlist of them. Look at that, side by side. So before I cut this off, what are we looking for? Oh, that's like straight out of my I Love Guinea Pigs t-shirt. We want to see them side by side instead of facing off. We want to see them lay down. Sharing is good. Obviously, popcorning is good. Anytime they're using each other for protection is good. But that being said, if they are in a situation like if they're outdoors or if they're afraid of a big gorilla like me, then they might you might not get an accurate reading because they're so afraid of me that they're using each other as like a shield. That's not the same as them feeling safe with each other. But man, I'm feeling pretty good so far. They are both a little humpy, but as long as they're not threatened by each other, then that's good. Here, let me see your face. Let me see. I'm gonna take a picture. Okay, so I'm gonna let them do their thing. I'm gonna set up some water bottles. Onyx is over here. I better put that lid down. He can totally hop out whenever he wants. We don't need a crazy boy over here screwing this up. Yes, we don't need you screwing this up, Onyx. Aww. So it's just been a few minutes, but I put this tunnel in. I put the tunnel in narrow at first to see if it would cause a commotion, but because they were being so peaceful, I put it wide. So the reason why I put it narrow, when it's narrow, oh my gosh, look at that. They're like both popcorning. That's what that was. This little twitch is a popcorn. So when the tunnel's narrow and only one pig can fit in it, then they sort of have to jockey for space. They have to sort of see if they can get along and share. But then if it doesn't cause a commotion, if they're not being dramatic, if they're not being aggressive with each other, then I widen it. Onyx, shh, Onyx, I'm filming. I make it wide so that they both can fit in it. Onyx, what? Onyx, you're out of hay because you spread it all around. Here, let me get you some more hay. Here you go. There you go. You can have pellets in a minute. Let's check on these guys. Look at that. Look at that. Now I know that this is insane and this is not something that I would normally do, but because they seem so calm and so chill, I put them back in a cage. Now this is bigger than the cage that they had been in for most of their time at the shelter. And the reason why is, if I'm going to put them together and then transport them in a cage like this, I want to make sure that they actually can get along in a smaller space like this. There's enough space for them to kind of do a little lap around. And if I notice any issues, then I'm going to put them back in their own cage. I just may have to put them both in smaller cages for the trip. But they just seem so good. I gave them some foraging mix and a big pile of hay. They got pellets, they got water. So let's just see if they can be calm. I mean, I think that they really are enjoying each other's company. And under normal circumstances, I wouldn't try to push them into a space this small. And when they get to their foster at the rescue, they're going to have a lot more space. So we'll see. I hope this works. So let's play Press Your Luck. Okay. So you can see a significant size difference with these two. Oh boy, where's my fleece? Wrap my hand. Now, this could go just as well, but this little baby is not really a baby. He's a teenager, and he could be humpier than the older one. The older one's probably closer to a year, and this one's probably closer to 6 months. But we'll see. I'm going to give them a pile of hay, and maybe we can't put them both in another cage and keep these guys bonded. He's digging down. I put this Guinea Dad pad down because I wanted to cover up any sense of the previous, any smells of the previous bonding session. So let's just see. You know, I think this may also be a situation where they're just so grateful to be out of the shelter and to have some company. But there's really only a 20% chance that any two boys will bond in my long experience. You know, sometimes you get lucky, but it doesn't always work. In fact, often it does not work. To think that you can just go to a shelter, take two pigs and put them together, it's just totally not the case. The same thing, you think you can get two piggies at the pet shop, and that because they are part of the same litter, that makes them less likely to bond, because what it means is that if they're from the same litter, they're both going to be hormonal and crazy teenagers at the same time. He's sniffing your butt. You're a butt sniffer. We got a butt sniffer. Okay, I'm going to get out of their face. I'm going to give them some hay. I'm just going to try to do the same thing over. Onyx is making noise on the other side. But they seem to be just eating. I spoke too soon. Rumble eating. But I'm not sure if they have seen a pile of hay this big ever. I know they got some hay at the shelter, but no matter how much you press upon the shelters, you're like, come on, they really need a giant pile of hay. Well, then they see that they waste it, And so they don't give it to him, they give him like tiny slivers. I'm partial to these black piggies. Who is that? That's the big one. Okay, hopefully he doesn't get upset. The big one has come alive. The little one's not happy about it. I mean, 2 out of 4 ain't bad. That was a little bit of a sneeze, but it could have just been because his nose was all the way in his butt. But it's definitely something to pay attention to. Alright, well, I made a tunnel. Just a makeshift box tunnel. So we'll see if this causes any chaos. They are handsome. He kind of looks like Bengal. Well, let's see if we can build some trust and get over this hormonal hump. And we're still holding our breath about the other piggies. I said 2 out of 4 before, but it hasn't been that long. It's been barely an hour. But piggies that are going to fight, a lot of times they fight in the first few minutes, as you, I'm sure, know. Oh, that's an amazing sign right there. I was talking earlier about what the signs that we're looking for. We want them to lay down. We want them to share. Having him turn his back and groom himself, that's a really good sign that he's feeling comfortable. He's got the milky eyes. That's totally normal, part of grooming. But generally you would expect the larger one to be comfortable, to feel safe, because the larger one's not going to feel threatened by the little one usually. So I guess it's not as much of a win as if the little one groomed himself. But he's eating. They're both eating. They're both sharing. That's good. See if they want to go into the tunnel. All right, so let's check back in a little bit. Let them do their thing. Well, he's being pretty relentless. So I'm not sure if it's going to work. It's just when will the baby get sick of it? They have not gone into the tunnel, which I'm personally offended about. Check it out. And that is the sound of an upset piggy. But he's little and doesn't realize he can fight back. But the other two are being very quiet. Nice moves. Alright. Well, I'm going to let it go for a while. So even though they've been a little rumbly, they have been very peaceful. So I thought I would try to divide this, make it a little smaller, and put this house in there. This is all I got. It's the tunnel, but I cut an opening to make it like a house. It's open on 3 sides, and that's what I would have to put in the travel cage if I'm going to put them together. So I'm slowly going to make this smaller and smaller and see if they can stay calm and peaceful. So that's my plan. It's just to move it in a little bit at a time. until it's right now it's pretty close to the size travel cage that they're going to be in if they make it that far. Well, it's been a couple hours, and both new pairs seem to be stable. I mean, I'm nervous because they have all night and a long day tomorrow before we can get them settled. But they've already been through so much. I hope they're just feeling happy that they have lots of hay, they've got good pellets, fresh filtered water. So I'm gonna wrap it up. Hope for the best. I'll keep you guys posted. We'll do some follow-up videos. But I'm grateful for your support, and I'm just thankful that these guys are healthy and safe. Until next time, thanks for watching.